David, as you say, dramatic pictures indeed. We're getting reports here, and of course this story is still breaking, it's rather fluid, but we're getting reports here from the Israeli army, I must say, that has said one armed Palestinian from the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade has been captured by Israeli forces in Ramallah. Just tell us, in terms of that person they'd be capturing, have you heard anything like that from your side, and why would they be after them?
Well, we've had no information at all really coming out of the Israeli army from Jerusalem. But on the ground, obviously, they've got press spokesmen who are giving information to the journalists who are in the center of Ramallah at the moment. But this is the sort of scale of operation they would use to get any wanted militant. They need that number of troops to protect the area and protect the men who have gone in to make the arrests. These jeeps that you can see and the bulldozers you can see are essentially a cordon sanitaire that the Israeli army have thrown around the area where the real operation is going on. So we're watching the outskirts, if you like, of the operation. These men are here to make sure no one can get in towards them, to keep everyone else at bay, and it seems from these pictures they're doing that successfully at the moment.
And David, we can't underestimate the extent or the significance of this incursion, which comes at a very sensitive time. We're talking to our correspondent at Sharm el-Sheikh, Hashim al-Bara, there at those talks between the Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert being brokered by the Egyptians and with Mahmoud Abbas from the Palestinian side. A very sensitive time for this incursion, I would say.
That's absolutely right. I mean, it was known that at this summit at Sharm el-Sheikh, the Egyptian President Mubarak would actually raise the idea of spreading the fragile Gaza ceasefire to the West Bank. It's something that Hamas have always wanted. It's something that it was hoped that this meeting would bring. But at the same time, only hours before this actual meeting is due to take place, we see these pictures inside the center of Ramallah, the biggest Israeli incursion there for at least 4 years. So this will have an impact not only on the summit at Sharm el-Sheikh, but also indeed on the ceasefire in Gaza. These pictures will be going out to many people there in Gaza, and I think we can expect a response. This is trampling over any hopes of keeping that ceasefire going, and as you can hear, the battle is still going on inside the center of Ramallah.
All right, David Chater there in Jerusalem, thank you very much indeed. Well, let's cross live now to Gaza and talk to senior Fatah spokesman Abdel Hakim Awad. Abdel Awad, what's your reaction to this Israeli incursion, first of all?
Yeah, first of all, I think this is look like a very big military campaign in Ramallah, and I think the Israeli occupation needn't reasons to attack or to practice its aggression in Ramallah or in Nablus or in any place, because the assassination policy and the aggression and the killing and the destruction by the Israeli soldier arms continue since 5 years. But I have to say that it's there is two views, I think. A view in Ramallah, people struggling against the Israeli occupation, and other view in Gaza Strip. It's a shame view, because I think the Palestinian people here facing each other and killing each other, and they are going to the internal war. So I think maybe the views which coming by Al Jazeera from Ramallah, by Al Jazeera Live from Ramallah, learn the people here, the people whom plan for spilling us to the local war or to the clashes, the local clashes or the internal war. So I think we have to learn from this, but in the same time, I think we have to put the point on the latter as well, and to know well that the summits between Abbas and Olmert, the last summit, and the whole decisions from this summit, I think there is no confidence concerning the Israeli occupation and the Israeli government.
And it's been a rather troubled week, hasn't it, for the territories in terms of what's happening between Fatah and Hamas. How do you think this incursion now will impact on what's happening in Gaza between Hamas and Fatah?
First, I think which happened in Gaza Strip between the people, the Palestinian people, encourage Israel and its army to attack more the Palestinian people and to practice more plans against the Palestinian people and its resistance. Second, I think we have to be encouraged from these views in Ramallah and to return back to ourselves, to think well, and to know well that we give the Israeli occupation and the Israeli army a prize, you know. And when the Israeli army look for us and deal with us as a weak side, I think he can easily practice the whole military plan and the whole political plan. So I think we have to learn well from these views in Ramallah, and we have to know well that if we established the unity in the Palestinian community, we can succeed to put an end to the Israeli plans or to the Israeli aggression in West Bank, in Nablus, in Ramallah, and in all over the Palestinian territories.
And how do you think, in fact, you mentioned earlier on that there was this, that how this might impact on the negotiations in Sharm el-Sheikh between the Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert and the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. How do you think now, if the Palestinians want to present a united front to the Israelis, how this will impact on that?
I think this summit seems like all the time hurt the Palestinian side, and it's hurt the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, because the Israeli all the time just talk, and they do nothing to the Palestinian people. When the Israeli said that we will help Abbas, and in the same time they do nothing, I think they push Abbas to be loose in the Palestinian community. So I think there is no confidence, as I said, towards the Israeli government and its prime minister, because in the reality, in the ground, nothing from its promises was established in the ground or practicing in the ground. So I think if the Palestinians stop talk and respect their promises in the summit, and following the decisions which was declared from this summit, I think the situation be more well.
Hey, all right, Abdel Hakim Awad, spokesperson for Fatah there. Thank you very much indeed. Let's just recap now for our viewers who are just joining us here on Al Jazeera. The pictures you're seeing are live and exclusive pictures coming to us here at Al Jazeera of a gun battle which has erupted in Ramallah following a major Israeli incursion by tanks and bulldozers into the town of Ramallah. This is quite significant, of course, because we haven't seen an incursion on this scale. We're hearing that some 20 people have been injured. Dramatic pictures there on your screen of Israeli vehicles, tanks, bulldozers, armoured cars coming into the town of Ramallah. We've heard from the Israelis that one armed Palestinian from the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade has been captured and that 11 other Palestinians have been arrested as well. Obviously, this is a fluid story and is breaking and developing as we watch it here on your screens. More than 20 Israeli armoured vehicles entered the West Bank town of Ramallah. We've also heard that in conjunction with this incursion into Ramallah, that the Israeli army has made another incursion in the town of Doha near Bethlehem. And we'll obviously try and confirm that for you a little bit later. But the pictures you're seeing now live here to Al Jazeera of a major incursion by the Israeli army into the town of Ramallah. We're seeing Palestinians spill out onto the streets there in response, ambulances taking the injured away. Let's cross now to David Chater in Jerusalem. Al Jazeera's David Chater. David, what more can you tell us about this second incursion? I don't know if you're hearing the news about this second incursion into Doha. David Chater in Jerusalem, can you hear us at all? No. Okay, right. Well, we have some technical problems there with David Chater in Jerusalem. David, let's just talk about the pictures we're seeing now. We understand the Israelis are withdrawing from Ramallah. Just talk us through these pictures now. What are we seeing?
Well, it looks like the Israeli armored vehicles are decreasing in number, and now you can actually see some vacant open streets and ambulances moving in, obviously, to try and help those injured. And it doesn't look like there is a large number of injured on the streets, but there is still a state of chaos, and you can see that Palestinian people are still running on the streets in all directions, trying to either help those injured or save their property